up, guys? Welcome into the Parley. Alongside 15-year NBA veteran Mr. Kendall Gill himself is in the building.
Hey, TLO.
KG, you ready for Bulls season, man?
I am ready for Bulls season.
Preseason Bull, the 2-0?
2-0. Beat the same team, but still 2-0 is 2-0. Are you okay?
Man, what do you mean am I okay?
The Cubs.
Oh,
Last.
You're gonna bring this up?
Yeah, are you okay? Because the Cubs are having a great year.
You know, it's if you don't know what he's talking about, look up the hashtag TLO Go Cubs Go Bet. I have a bet with my colleague Brandon Combs from Combs and Fitz and MGM Bet. And the bet is that if the Cubs don't make the World Series, I get a fresh new White Sox jersey and has with tags on it, everything. Straight up, straight from the
and for all of you guys that don't know, TLO is the biggest White Sox fan in Chicago. So I'm just a Chicago fan. Who's ever winning, that's who I'm going to support.
Yeah, we discussed that in the episode. We're not even going to talk about your fandom in baseball.
Right.
If I lose this bet, though, I have to sing "Go Cubs Go" on my piano in front of the students of Illinois Media School live watch party at the school.
That's terrible, man.
With a Cubs hat on.
With a Cubs hat on, too?
I took the bet.
Oh,
I'm probably an idiot.
Yeah.
Right now, it's what it seems like it. But, man, I think the Brewers can't pull this off. I hope I'm not lying. But it's okay because I got a whole nother round. So we good. And if they win, they got to face the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'm praying this doesn't age well. So we'll see how this goes. But thanks for bringing this up. I appreciate it.
All right.
I appreciate it. The Parlay is sponsored by 60/40 Club. If you want to know about Kendall Gill's workout regimen, which is over, I'm assuming, right? Because we're going into the winter.
Yeah, it's fall.
Yeah. Well, check it out anyway. Maybe you could do some stuff over the winter at your house. Check it out on KG's page. Also, don't forget Glory Wash Pro if you need any of your pressure washer needs. He still works in the winter. There's many different services that he does provide. Check it out, Glory Wash Pro, right there on the description. And of course, as always, me.
Right.
Sponsored by me and the TLO Go Cubs Go Bet.
All right.
Oh my God. Well, you made me so nervous. All I'm thinking about is the game now. We got guests, man. We got guests in the building. Well, we do have a special guest in the building, and we want to bring her in. This is actually a long time coming. We had this interview planned about a couple months ago, right? Almost a year?
Yes.
It was about a year. And so Michelle is in the building. Michelle is a woman pro boxer. She's from Chicago, and she's doing an amazing job at the sport. Her workout ethic is amazing. I don't know if you guys follow her on social media, but this girl is in the gym every single day, and I feel fat. I'm sure you get it all the time with messages and stuff like that, but no, really, not on top of you doing that and being a boxer, you're a big motivator to people. People from looking up to you to like saying thank you to you from what we've seen on social media. And that's pretty big, coming from somebody as young as you and somebody who's striving to do something in the sport and be something. So we want to welcome you into the show, Michelle.
Thank you, KG, and thank you, TLO, for the invitation on this show today, and I'm excited to be here.
All right.
Well, let's get into it. When did you start boxing? How did this all start for you?
I picked up after my brother, so he used to do it, and my mom put him in. Started doing it, just watching him, and one day I wanted to do it for fun.
Oh, yeah.
My mom refused. She thought it was a male-dominated sport and was like, no. And just me, hard-headed Michelle, that, hey, I want to do it. Told my sister to sign me up. She signed me up, told me to get good grades, brought her straight A's, had me in the gym. Ever since, I've just been training. I started off at the Summit Boxing Club. So it's around Summit by south side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for a couple years, and then I stopped. And then I started going back. And then that's when I found, I was with Rick Fernudo for a little bit. After with Rick Fernudo, he ended up transitioning to a different gym. And then I ended up going with Sam. And from Sam, I've been with Sam since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, now I've trained, that's where I train. I train at Sam Colonna's gym as well. Same place Michelle trains. Mm-hmm. Great gym. How would you describe Sam Colonna's atmosphere? I think he has the number one gym in the city.
Man, his atmosphere, I would say, is always welcoming no matter what. I think that is the number one gym that when you go in there, I feel that you find everyone from lawyers, from police officers, from just again, basketball players, hence like yourself, amateurs, professional athletes, all kinds. I think it's very diverse and it's mixed. The atmosphere is very welcoming. Everybody helps, everybody supports each other. I don't think there's any animosity towards any boxers. Everybody's just welcome, even when you're doing fitness, even with the classes. We host a lot of programs as well. We host a program for the kids as well. That is also sponsored. I feel that it's very great. You see so much talent there at Sam's, and not only that, but I do see a lot of people from different boxing gyms coming in. So that should tell you, if you see Saturdays, if you come in Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, all gyms from all over the city of Chicago is in there. So that should just tell you, Sam Colonna is the best place to be there. Of course, there's a lot of other gyms as well. You have Unanimous, you have Rick Ramos, you have all of those great gyms as well. They're all great atmospheres, but as far as Sam's, I would say that Sam's 100%. I love being there. I mean, if I'm there, if I've been there for almost 14 years, I think that should tell you, I think my loyalty is always there.
Yeah. Right. And look, we love the guys over at Unanimous, Lalo and Trinidad and all those guys. And of course, you said Rick Ramos has his gym. I think his gym is called Body Shot.
Yes.
And but I still think there's no gym like Sam's.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Sam is, to me, is the number one gym in the city.
For sure. Even like people come in, they don't know anything. Everybody's offering a hand. All the time, everybody, even myself. I see newbies, or I see people that are just getting there just to train, just to be fit, and everybody's just helping. Everybody helps out. I don't think but there's from trainers there. All the trainers are there. They're very welcoming as well.
That's awesome. You talked a little bit about your upbringing and how you got into the sport. What made you? I don't know if it was your brother or family, but when made you say, "All right, I'm gonna go pro"? I'm going to do this.
I think after being so long in in competition, after my first national tournament, I think that's when I actually started to say, "Hey, I like it. I'm very dedicated." I went. So it's so funny. I went to my first national tournament, my first year boxing ever, and this was my first time actually having an amateur fight. And I actually didn't have any amateur fights, surprisingly. The amateur fights that I did have were Park District fights.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I had one fight. And out of that one fight, I ended up going to the nationals. So I went to the nationals. In the nationals, you're supposed to have 5 fights.
Oh, really?
So you're supposed to, but I added the 5. Of course, I added the 5 fights. I just wanted. It's just a girl with the dreams, that's all. Sometimes when you're in a male-dominated sport, sometimes you always feel antagonized by men saying like, "Oh, women can't do this. Women can't do the same exact sport." So I just wanted to prove a point, and I think my point was like, "Hey, like I could fight somewhat. I enjoy the sport. I seen my brother. How hard can it be?" So after just being consistent, I just wanted to see how far my luck was. And I had one coach to believe in me. So he just signed away the Park Districts. I went to my first national tournament, fought some really tough girls. I lost in the semifinals. So that should tell you, for for somebody that wasn't that experienced on their national tournament their first time in Reno, Nevada, that should tell you a lot. And I think that after that was what made me want to say, "Hey, I want to see how far I really, really want to go with this." I think I look at it with my full potential at that time when I was actually at the nationals. I saw Ryan, I saw Teofimo Lopez, Gabriel. I saw all of those upcoming Xander Zaya. So all those upcoming boxers that you see now that are in the big top leagues, they were there back in the nationals. And also that's kind of what motivated me, and just seeing a lot of networking and the connections out there, and just seeing that. I think that's what made me say, hey, let's continue to grow from here. Let's see what's in the store for me. And I think that right there is what made me say, hey, let's go.
Did you think you were on that level on the national, when you went to nationals coming from the Park District? Did you said you were a little bit nervous because?
Yes. Yeah. So I was nervous because I did not have the same exact experience as the other national athletes that have been in that tournament. But once I did get my feet in there, and I did fight a couple of girls that were already ranked on the top 5 ranked, I was able to hold my ground. And I think that my experience with them, it wasn't, I wouldn't say that I was too much far off from the elite level from them. And it just made me, again, at that elite level that they had, and the experience, it just made me want to go for more and want to say, hey, I want to keep going. And I think something with me about having me either losing or having somebody that's better than me, it's what makes me want to be better. It makes me want to achieve even higher.
Right.
Doing all that, you got to the pros, right? And so you right now, you're in the midst of your 5-1-1, as you mentioned to me off the air. You have a fight coming up on the 15th. November 15th. Yes, did I read that right? Okay. Got scared there for a second. But on the 15th, this is in Indiana. Is that right? Is it Hammond?
It's going to be at the Hammond Civic Center.
Yeah. And so I know you said you don't know the opponent and so forth. Have you done anything different in this training camp for yourself to be prepared for this specific fight, not knowing who your opponent is, from what you do on a regular basis, at the gym and stuff like that?
I have not. I've just been sticking to my regular routine from what we had planned. I mean, this fight wasn't something that we had planned. It just so happened to be that they gave us a phone call and said if we were interested, and we said yeah. I'm in fight shape, ready, and I feel that I'm ready right now. And I think that's about taking opportunities. And I told myself, like, even if I'm not ready, we're going to get ready. Right. And sure. Even then, at any point, you always got to be ready no matter what. And I think that I feel as far as myself, even with not knowing what the opponent I have, I think my training and the way that I go about my training camps, when I know that I'm either going to fight or not, it's still always, to me, will always be a fight camp. And I always still train like the amount of rounds I'm going to be doing. And I always train full time as if I'm going to be fighting you, because you just never know. You don't know when there could be another opportunity and say, hey, are you ready? Right. What are you gonna say? Oh no, I'm not ready. You gotta give me 2 months.
So as a rule of thumb, Sam always tells me that, Sam Colonna, you gotta be in the gym at least 3 times a week to stay ready. At least 3 days a week. You're 5 days a week still?
Your girl is 6
No,
days.
bro. She's 7 days a week, bro.
I'm
7 days a week.
I'm 7 days a week. I train. So my schedule is I train 6 days completely, 3 times a day. Plus I work my full-time job, and I do that full time.
That's dedication, man.
That right there.
Yeah.
Normally Sundays are around like either my rest day. I'm still actively like working out, but those are more dedicated more to like sparring days and all of that. So I do train. I train all 6 days, 3 times a day, plus my full time. And then normally just one day, that 7 day is more so like an active rest day, depending on what it is. It's either if I'm sparring or maybe just doing an active day like yoga, cardio, or any kind of form of just like keeping your body active. It's not very it's not always healthy, but again, if you gotta stay sharp, you know, We have dreams to trade. We have dreams to chase. So
that's true.
Bring some Rocky music while she's singing that, bro, when you edit.
I know you see me, TLO, at 3 a.m. I see you on my IG.
Man, I'll be shocked. Like I'll be going to work like this, and I'm like, my God, man, this is crazy. Yeah, you are in the. She's always in the gym. And it's like I said, it's awesome to see. You talked about how this is a man's sport. When we talk to women and women's boxing, the Amanda Serranos, the Katie Taylors, the Bumgarners, right? The people who paved the way, Ali. Have you feel that women's boxing has grown? That's kind of a dumb question. It has, but has it revolutionized to a point where women's boxing can be as big as men's boxing? How do you feel about women's boxing in general?
Overall, women's boxing, I think it's amazing. Any women that does a male-dominated sport, I think they're amazing. They have my support. I tilt my hat to them because it's very hard. And I can speak for myself, and doing the things that I do in a male dominated sport is very tough. A lot of the times being in a male dominated sport, not everybody sees it, but it's way harder. And especially with us women, like our hormones, like we go through a lot of things, like the weight cuts, all of the stuff that, like, the training, even the eating right, like for you guys, because you guys are naturally, for men it's way different working out wise than what it is for women. And people don't see that. Like Sam doesn't care whether I'm a girl or a man. He's still, why can't you do this, Sam? I can't do this. Yeah. But why? No, it's different. Being a woman and doing male stuff is very very different, harder than what it is. But I would always say, as a woman, I'm very proud of anybody that does a male dominated sport. I'm glad that boxing has uplifted in the women's sport. Back then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Definitely not. We would hear so much negativity of women's boxing. And now that with Amanda Serrano, with Katie Taylor, with all these big, amazing girls, I think that it's coming to a point where I feel that women are actually overruling men now. Women fight whoever. And anybody that gets a call out, I'll take it. Yeah. Men, they want to cherry pick now. I get it. Business is business, but at the same time, it's like we want to see something. We want to see some action. A lot of the times, again, I understand people work hard, people want this, but if you're gonna be here for a sport, you're actually going to dedicate yourself to it, and you're going to actually go for it. There's no cherry picking, and I think women. Hey, I'll take whoever. Oh, title belt, I'll take it. You know what? I'll take this. I'll take that. And women are more like, yes. And you see more women, like women are starting to become like men. I've seen so many, like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. You have Clarissa Shields. You have Bumgardner. You have all these amazing women, and their talent, how they're training is just amazing. And it's like, man, like that's something very admirable, and it's great. Like things like that. Like I look up to athletes like that, and it's like I know that maybe one day, because of looking at them, and I see that they're making it big in the women's boxing. I also tell myself, like, I want to put my name out there. I want to go as far as I can, and I want to see how far things can get in the women's sport, and it's doable. Again, it's just that you have to have the proper resources. You have to have the right people. You have to be pointed in the right direction for that.
And shout out to Elia Carranza, Olivia Carey, Jessica Gansky, all them girls.
All of them.
Exactly what she said.
Right,
taking all opportunities.
They're taking all of them. Olivia just fought. Well, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago. Scott, amazing. Same thing. Set her name for herself, and it doesn't matter. Those are opponents that are high quality, top top tier females, and you don't see a lot of people taking these fights. And I see all these girls, yes, I'll take it. Yes, I'll take it. You see these men getting offered these big fights. Oh, I'll pass. I'll pick and choose who I want to fight. But women now, they're, yes, come on, hit me with this. Let's go. Let's get the ball rolling. And that's what I like. That's what I love for women. Now, I think sometimes I feel that women needs to get more credit for what they do rather than being judged or saying like, hey, like we're still men. Like, no, women can do just as much as what men can do. I just feel that because it's set up to be like a male thing, I feel that sometimes a lot of people don't get that. They don't give us the credit that we deserve.
No. Well, you get credit from us.
From you guys.
You get credit from us.
Because you guys go through it. I feel that not a lot of people actually they don't really see it the way that you guys or anybody else sees it. So
and to throw a wrench in your statement, just because, not that I'm trying to be a troll or a devil's advocate here, but money is different, right?
100%.
And that's probably the reason why these big name boxers like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and all them boys, halt on the opportunities because they want to make more money in a certain fight, or they'll cherry pick a fight to have a tune-up fight, as we call it in the sport of boxing, to get to the next fight. So saving the opportunity, saving the money there. And I think you said it earlier, there's not a lot of matches in women's boxing. So, right. And so it almost feels like women do take the opportunity because I'm like, yeah, well, there's no one else to fight. You know what I mean? But beyond that, the sport in women's boxing is growing. And a lot of more women are boxing. There's a lot more women in the gym now. You can see them training, yourself, right? And it's I think, women's boxing has revolutionized, right? And has evolved to be mainstream. Now we see women's boxing on the zone, on Amazon Prime's Premier Boxing. Like we never really saw that in the 90s, right?
All the time.
It was like one fight and it was an undercard. It was first fight, you know? Now we got main events, co-main events. So to your point, women's boxing has grown. And it's awesome that you're a part of that culture. One thing that you also do, Michelle, is the combat league, the team combat league. That's in Texas. Am I correct?
Well, it's different. It's different states, but we do so it's what it is. It's a league. The league is, think of it as the Golden Glove. So you're with a group of different, it's mixed. So men and women in different weight classes, meaning anywhere from 118 all the way to the heavyweight. Women and men, whoever qualified to be on the league for a certain state, then whoever they choose to pick on that team, we go and we compete against different states. So they have like I was with the Nashville team, and they have different weight classes. So I fought 14 times with the league in the course of 3 months, and I traveled to 14 different states with it.
Wow.
And I competed,
I'm sorry, KG. How does the league work? And just in general, like how does that work? Do you fight like 1 round, 2 rounds? You guys fight as a team? How does that work?
So the rounds are through a team effort. So it's through a team effort, but we do fight we could fight anywhere potentially to 1 round or 3 rounds in one night. And there is about 26 rounds in there. So either depending on who gets picked. So it goes by the first couple of rounds. So it leads up to just basically rounds from rounds 1 through 10. And then anywhere from 10 to 26, they have like money rounds and they have betting rounds. So either in the money or betting rounds, the teams of the both sides that you do go against, they pick and choose who they want to fight again. So say, for example, say for me, like I fought for the Nashville Team Smash, and I fought twice. And one of them, they put me in the beginning, which was my actual round to fight. And then I ended up fighting in the money rounds, meaning the coaches, they talked and they wanted to put me again. So sometimes I can fight 1 time, sometimes I can fight 2 times, or sometimes I can fight up to potentially 3 times in that one night. But it's also with different other with the fighters on my league. So some of them, like my teammates, they can fight 1 or twice. Sometimes they can just fight 1 time that one night. But for me, I fought 3 times 1 time, and then the rest of the league I fought twice, but because they put me on the money rounds or on the betting rounds, plus what I've actually plus the 1 round that I ended up fighting. So that's normally how it goes. It's money rounds and betting rounds, and you fight potentially 1 to 3 times in that one night. But it's very tough. I feel that with that league, I feel that it takes everything out of you. You fight 1 round, but 3 minutes with everything you got.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you go all out because you know you're not fighting a full 10-round fight?
Yeah, so it's not like a full 10-round fight, but you can also fight different people in there too. You might not fight the same person either, because sometimes depending on how many women are in your same weight class, you can potentially fight 1 or 2 other different fighters from there, as long as they're in your weight class.
So you can fight somebody 1 round that's slick, then the next round that's a brawler, and then somebody that's a boxer puncher. Yeah, so I mean that's tough.
That is tough. And let me ask you this: is fighting in a league like that almost like not a good idea if you are a pro boxer? Does that mess up a rhythm for you?
I would say yes and no at the same. I would say yes and no at the same time, just because if you're just doing the league is only 3 months, so that's really what you're giving out. If the league really likes you, and if the league likes how you fight, they will continue to put you in as many fights for their league that they have up to September or October, because sometimes they do have other fights. I'm not sure how that's really set up, but I know that I was offered to fight with them again, and unfortunately I wasn't able to. But they do have opportunities where you're able to fight with them again. But back to what I was saying, I think it's a give and take. It's a good experience to do that, because you devote yourself for 3 months, and you're traveling and you're fighting different fighters with a great experience. Like, I fought all the girls that I fought at 118. I did fight at 118. There was nothing lower for me at the weight class, because for the women's it's either from 118 all the way to 140 something they had for the women's. And in the fights that I fought against Brittany Sims. I fought against really great women that are actually well known, that have a higher ranking than me in the pros, because that's all you're fighting. You're fighting pros, and I feel like it was my very first season. These women have they've been with the season for almost every season. So this is the 3rd season that they had.
Okay, so they're experienced. Yeah.
So they're very experienced, and the girls that are there, those are girls that are coming up from a title belt and everything. So I was blessed. My last fight, I lost against Brittany Sims on that. I came up short, but she was fighting to win a title, but I'm not sure if she fought just yet, but she was actually on the radar for a title belt, and I actually was able to get the privilege to fight her.
That's great.
So
yeah, that's 100%.
I think that is good as far as devoting yourself through an actual fight. It can be different because you're training differently. There is 3 minutes, you're giving everything you got, but at the same time, it can be a mind game, because once you're done with the season, it's like your body and your mind is like, oh, now I'm thinking, because it's kind of like in an amateur style. If you're really thinking it in that way with the league, it's like 3 minutes, everything. The only difference is that you don't have the 16-ounce gloves, and neither do you have the headgear. So when you're actually potentially fighting the three rounds or the 2 rounds, and you're going with everything, it's kind of like an amateur. It's an amateur style. Like the referees, they're not counting it as in okay, like tap or any like how or regular boxing matches. It's either we're counting everything, like you're dogging it out with the next person. So whoever is a bigger person, whoever wins that wins it. So it's that can be something differently because when you're sparring or you're getting ready to tune up for an actual fight, your mentality is not that way. Your mentality, you're thinking the mentality of 3 minutes, I'm gonna go all out. So you sometimes you have to remember like, okay, I'm a pro. I'm fighting 8 rounds, 6 rounds now. I'm not fighting 3 minute rounds. So it is a little bit to get adjusted to because you're set when you're with the league. You have a different training camp than what it is when you're actually having that when you're actually training for a full 6 rounder, a full 8 rounder.
Yeah.
So I can vouch for that. It was very different when I started transitioning because my body was very accustomed to fighting the 3 minutes, but going all out. So now that I'm transitioning back and getting my body towards the okay, now we're doing 8 rounds, 6 rounds.
Is 8 rounds the most you've ever fought?
Yes.
Okay.
The 8 round. I haven't fought like an 8 rounder. So this one might be either either 6 or an 8 rounder. We're thinking about having an 8 rounder for this show. If it doesn't, then we'll be sticking with the 6. But as far as right now, I've been training for an 8 rounder. So it has been a little bit that I think I would say that's probably the only transition that I have been like putting in a lot more work with the league, between the league and what's training for right now for my 8 rounder, because my mind is still like I still wanna do three full round minutes, but with everything. And sometimes your mind has to switch and you just gotta be like, no, you gotta calm down, relax. We're not doing 3 minutes anymore. We're doing 2 minutes. And now you just have to pick and choose and be more calm. And in there, the adrenaline kicks in. When you're there 3 minutes, you get hit one time, your adrenaline, you're just there punching. You don't even know what you're punching. You just, as long as you're
just wailing out the punches.
Yeah, just wailing it out, and then you just get accustomed to it.
That's right. Because I remember when, I first fought, I would be nervous. Even in sparring, you kind of get butterflies a little bit, but after you get hit,
it's over with.
It's over with. All the butterflies go away. It's like, okay, it's on now.
Yeah, I used to, I've never boxed professionally, but I used to help my boy train back in the day, who wanted to become a pro. Shout out to Johnny. And we would spar, and we do body shot sparring, and then we do full body, regular sparring, and it was nerve wracking, even with your homie. Right. But you're right. When you get hit, it's over with.
All the butterflies go out the window.
We're in the fray. Right. What's your end goal? What do you want to accomplish in boxing? Do you have a dream goal? What does that look like for you?
Just become a world champion in my weight class. If it's doable, if I can make it that far, great. And if I can't, I think I'm content with what I did for the sport of boxing as far as like my amateur career, as far as my pro career. It takes a lot of courage to get into that ring, and it takes a lot of discipline, determination, your mindset. Everything changes when you do a sport like this. And my end goal is just to be noticed and acknowledged for all of my hard work and what I became for the sport of boxing. Not too much. If I end up becoming a world champion, that's the goal. If I can't, then just to be a motivator. I love to motivate people, even if it's just to be healthy, whether it's to defend themselves or whatnot. I just want to show everybody like, hey, like this girl every day wakes up fighting for her life, all through all the struggles. But you're just there to prove a point and to just want people to acknowledge and say, hey, even though that girl didn't make it that far, but in her career, throughout her boxing career, she didn't back out. She did everything she could, and that's it. That's all. I'm very humbled. I'm one of those, if I can, and in my heart, that's what I want. If it's not, then I'm content with everything that I have. I have amazing people that look up to me already. What more can I have? I mean, that right there is already life. People just knowing my name, knowing who I am, knowing the things that I do, even whether it's on my social media profiles, but just to have people acknowledge that and to be able to inspire other people, just whether it is to work out, whether it's to defend themselves, whether it is for whatever dreams that they can, just know that it's doable, and just to keep striving and not to hold back on anything. You only live once, and you just got to keep going.
That's right.
I never told you this, Michelle, but you did inspire me one time when I saw you at the gym to go on a 1 mile run. And I did do it. This was last year. I went around and was on right there in Chicago on Central and Irving. And I was like, I got to go run because
because you saw Michelle run.
I saw she's in the gym again, same day. And I gotta go run. So you did I ran a mile. I ran a mile.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now you got to run some more miles. I know you've been seeing them ×3. So at 3:30, I'm zing, 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 that bell right there, that phone. Okay.
Got you. I got you.
That 1 mile better be turned to 2 miles.
I'll put it on my story.
That's right.
Better put it on your story.
All right, I got a question for you, Michelle. You got a Mexican bandana on. Shout out to todos los mexicanos que están viendo esto. You already know the Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Not Alex. He's
Alex.
Not our editor. He's yeah.
It took you this long just to notice the headband.
No, I noticed
I noticed it right away.
You see?
No, I noticed it.
If you know, you know.
But I've been wanting to ask you this question: who is the #1 Mexican boxer of all time to you?
To me, I would say my ultimate favorite, my go-to, I would say Julio Cesar Chavez.
Good.
That right there.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Puro mexicano orgullo allí.
I was gonna say if he had lived, it would be Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador, man, and we didn't get to see much of him.
Sanchez.
You know, we were,
didn't get, because he died at an early age.
Yeah,
I think it was 21, 22, something.
It was in his 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he was a master class of boxing.
Yeah,
brutal. He beat my guy, Wilfredo Gomez.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, of course, that hurt to see that when I saw it. But Julio Cesar Chavez is, to me, it's the same thing. I mean, Canelo was. I think he was revolutionary in the way that he came up, to the sport. He had 40 fights in Mexico, right? Then he came in and he started knocking people out, and he did his thing. But there's something about Julio Cesar Chavez. As a kid, I remember watching this guy.
Yeah.
And like
he's a great fighter, man.
Just ridiculous. I mean, there was no, and of course, people will say, "Oh, but he doesn't have the boxing skill. He doesn't move."
Skill, yeah.
I feel like you don't in boxing, man. If you can brawl like this guy and be as successful as he was, and what was his record? 150,000 and 20.
You gotta remember though, back then they had 15 rounds too.
Yeah.
Now it's only 12. So that right there tells you is the dog in him.
Yeah. That's right, but I mean, he had masterful skill and great body work. One of the best body punches of all time.
Yep. And the most amazing heart in the sport.
Yep.
He was down, even though there was that controversial win, which I think he should have lost that fight against what's
Sweet Pea Whitaker.
No, not Sweet Pea. There was another guy. I forget his.
I don't know his name.
I know. Yeah. Frankie Randall.
Not Randall. Was it Randall? In the corner where they stopped the fight and it was only 10 seconds left?
Oh, Meldrick Taylor.
Thank you, Meldrick Taylor. Sorry.
Meldrick Taylor, yeah.
That fight, I felt like he lost. But man, the Julio Cesar, you're absolutely right, was that guy. So that was cool. Yeah. This is what I had to ask.
Yeah,
I had to ask. Final question for you here before we let you go, Michelle. And we thank you for being here with us. Canelo Crawford was a pretty it was an event, right? And so a lot of different takes on the fight. We've talked to many different people on how they felt about it, about how Canelo did, about how Crawford did. How'd you feel about the fight? Did you feel like Crawford really just edged him out in by a distance, or was it a close fight for you?
If you want my honest opinion, I think that Crawford won fair and square. I think it was the first couple rounds. I think that Canelo had a couple good rounds, but overall, I'm a Canelo fan. I love my Canelo, and I'm amazed by his work ethic. Never, never, never have nothing bad to say, but I think Crawford, he was a better man that night and he did what he had to do. I think at first I was a little bit hesitant, thinking like the weight was gonna be an issue for Crawford, just due because he's never been in that weight class before and fought in that weight class. But I think he did really, really amazing. Yeah, he had there was some times where there was in a couple of rounds where he did have like he didn't catch up to Canelo's standards at one point, but then he was very calm. He was calm and just waiting and just waiting, and he finally figured he was figuring Canelo out, and Canelo just didn't know what to do no more.
Yeah. Well,
Crawford, his high Q, crazy, and I think he did well. He did amazing. He did exactly what he was supposed to. He executed really, really well. I believe the only thing that I could say about Canelo was just that he wasn't the better man, and he even said it himself. He said, "I did everything I could in this camp. It's just sometimes you win some, you lose some." And that's exactly that's exactly what happened. There's really I feel that a lot of people say, "Oh no, Canelo won." No, sometimes you got to be realistic, and if you look at the footage back, I did replay that. I think I call seven out of the five. I would say 7-5.
That was my scorecard, 7-5. Yeah. I thought that the fight was a lot closer than people said it was. You know, we had Trinidad Garcia in here the other day talking about Crawford won 10 rounds to 2.
Alex, show me on camera, bro.
You know, that was ridiculous, you know. But I had Crawford winning, but only by 2 rounds.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
And what do you think Canelo should have done more of? You know, obviously he got outpointed, you know, by Crawford, but what do you think he should have done? What adjustments should he have made?
I think he should have just kept applying pressure and kept actually being the first punch.
Be first.
Be first no matter what. And it's crazy because I can vouch that for myself as well, because sometimes I can be hesitant too as well, and be like, I don't want to be the first, and I just stay but then it never works out. And especially you have to also understand, like, I feel like us and you will see it all the time, even my Mexican people, even all my Mexican fighters. I think all of us Mexicans that are Mexican boxers, we have a brawl style. Yeah. And it's sometimes it could be very hard to adjust or to even like fix. But I think like his is just, he just sits. That's all he does. It's not very, and that's how his style has always been. But sometimes again, you just never, keeping that same style will not always going to help you. It will help you only so much until somebody like Crawford, they end up catching up, and they start outsmarting you, and they start pinpointing like, okay, he just stays there, maybe I can do this, maybe this can work, and that's exactly what happened.
Right. I felt like Canelo did not use his jab enough. Every time he threw his jab, he always connected with the right hand after it. You know, 1-2, 1-2. I mean, that was catching Crawford time and again, but he didn't do it. Also, we heard Eddie Reynoso, who's his trainer, saying, you're not active enough. You need to throw more punches. And that, I believe, came from, this guy is moving up 2 weight classes. I'm just going to walk through him.
And that's exactly what he thought.
I'm just going to walk through him. And you can't do it. I mean, Crawford's reach is 74 inches. You can't, and he's a great fighter. You can't walk through that, so, and Canelo's a great fighter. So I think that there will be a rematch.
I believe so too.
Yeah, because there's too much money on the table. And I know that Canelo probably has gone back, watched the film and said, man, why didn't I just throw my jab and then follow up with right hand? I was catching him, but I just didn't do it enough. So, and also too, I don't know if you noticed this, Michelle, but the real estate, Crawford kept Canelo on his right foot was always on the outside.
I noticed that too.
The foot position, he was winning the foot position 9 times out of 10 with Canelo. Canelo cannot get caught in Terrence Crawford's wheelhouse. If he does it, it's going to just be a repeat of the last fight.
And what was also, I don't know if you noticed too, but he was also cutting off the ring really, really well in situations that too.
He was.
So whenever he did see Canelo, whenever he was seeing Canelo just waiting around and Canelo was just right there, straight cut off, boom, turned.
Yeah.
Right there, right in front of Canelo, right there again.
Yep.
Waiting to execute.
Yep.
I thought that was really great as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's definitely a great fight. We'll see if it happens again. We talked about last episode that money is there.
Benavidez said he's not coming back down to 168.
So we'll see what happens. Michelle Morales in the building. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you come back soon at some point, and we wish you the best of luck on November 15th. Hammond
at the Civic Center.
All right.
Yep, we'll see what happens there, and we hope to be there as well to help cover that fight. So we can't wait to see it.
Well, thank you. I hope you guys come out to see it. Thank you, KG, for the invitation. And thank you, TLO, for having me on your
podcast.
Yes.
At the Parley.
At the Parley, absolutely. Michelle, the best of luck to you. The Parley sponsored by 6040 Club once again, and also Glory Wash Pro. Hey, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Look at the link in the description box. All of our social media is on there, from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. We have it all. Make sure you follow us and hit that bell. Like that, you can get notifications on when we post our shorts, our videos, and all that stuff. A lot coming at the end of the year in 2025. And 2026 about to be crazy. We're going to preview that later on in the final parts of season 7 of the Parlay. KG, we are out of here, sir.
All right, my man.
You ready?
Go Cubs.
Parlay. What up, y'all? TLO here for the Parlay. Kendall Gill, 15-year NBA veteran in the building as always. Hey, man, if you like what you just saw, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You guys got to follow us. Season 7 is going to be insane. We are going to be here. We hope you are here for it. But Kendall, let's go. On the court, I need my rematch. That 10-0 game was a fluke. Let's go.
Tito, as the great Floyd Mayweather once said, there are levels for a reason. There are weight classes for a reason. You're messing with a heavyweight, a professional basketball player. You're a lightweight. I don't want to take your confidence away from you, Tito. Okay? You've been doing well in your rec leagues. You've been winning championships in your rec leagues.
Let's go.
Stay on that level.
Let's go now.
So you go practice.